Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of the Big Fat Indian Wedding, and day 1 was super exhausting. I don't know if you could notice that because the video was quite small, but it takes the entire day to day 1, which me and Remy condensed it, and this is day 2 and it's night, and yeah, this is another Indian wedding attire. You can have different ways of making the attire. I kind of have like the same-ish thingy. But yeah, so today it's a lot of fun activities, and today is when the actual wedding happens. With the video coming up, I'll explain to you what happens each time. And all of these weddings, just as a disclaimer, each culture, even in India, or each religion, or based on family, they have different ways of conducting the same wedding. So this is just one way of doing an Indian wedding, and I hope you guys like it. Let's just go with the wedding. And as just like the last video, we'll have another cut with Remy and her thoughts on the Indian wedding part 2. For now, yeah, let's just go with the wedding and see how it is. So this is the groom. He usually comes on a horse, and that's, I think, true for most Indian weddings. And this is the entire procession with the amount of people that come in. Usually it's just from the groom's side of the family, and it's just a lot of fun. And there's this typical wedding music with the bands coming in, and you have to like pre-book them obviously, and the lights and everything are not part of Indian tradition. It's just how fancy you want things done, or how different do you want things done. But you can see it's a mix of bhangra, and ladies do a bit of garba as well. So it's a bit of a mixture of cultures during the dance, but you can technically do anything, you know, literally. People dance the way they want, and these processions can take like 3 or 4 hours, even more depending. I think earlier it used to be a lot more. But yeah, these days it has reduced, and I think in the interest of time, people try to take it easy. And again, once you reach, so people just take a circle around, you know, where the wedding is going to happen. Let's see some hype. Nice. Yeah, so what I was about to say is then people reach the place where the wedding happens, and that's where the bride's family and everyone is already there. They're there to welcome everyone from the groom's family, and that's how it usually works. And you can see the groom enjoys it. That depends. Some of them don't enjoy their own wedding, but clearly he is, which is a good thing. I'll let some of the music sink in. And this is the bride coming in, and she looks astonishingly beautiful. And there's usually a cover which is like made by flowers. To be honest, I don't know the exact name, or how do I explain that, but it's usually under something like this. And yeah, she just does a small walk around so people can see, and like see her, and then she gets on the stage. But yeah, sorry for the bad camera angles again. It's so difficult to get these shots. And then you spend like, this is the reception where you spend like 4 or 5 hours. The bride in the room is just tiring standing there, and you have 1,000 people, obviously, as you saw in the previous video as well, and everyone wants to come take a picture with them, and they need to be doing this. So you see the green part there, that's where the actual wedding ritual is going to happen, as you see here. It's usually around the fire, and there's a lot of like rituals going on, and you basically do what the guru or the pandit tells you to do, as you can see. And after this, there's another part where it's called the bidai ceremony. So it's basically where the bride is leaving the family and finally going to the guy's family. It's a lot of crying. It usually happens early morning, and for the part of you know, for both the families, I've kept that out of the video. As promised, this is Remy again on our views of day 2 of the Indian wedding. So tell me what you did today and how did you find it?
Okay, so in the early afternoon we had like this, I don't want to call it a tour, but I don't know how else to call it. It was like with a lot of music, and the groom was sitting on a horse, and all people were like dancing, and there were like umbrellas with light and stuff. It was all the fun. It lasts like an hour, I think, but I think normally it lasts more.
Yeah, I think it lasts. It depends. Some do it for 2 or 3. Some even do it for 4 or 5 hours. So because I think it's the rainy season, but more so because I think with the timing getting a bit delayed, they did it for I think close to 1.5 hours. Yeah.
Oh, okay, 1.5 hours. And it was like super much festivities. Like everyone was being happy, everyone was dancing. We had like this turban.
Yeah.
The turban on our heads. It was all fun too. Maybe.
Yeah. It's only worn during the weddings. It's not before or after. So it's just a thing for like, and that too, it's just from the groom's side of the people that get to wear the turban.
Yes. So we were the turbans. Like Nishant wore a men's version of it, and I wore a women's version of it. And then after we just went inside, and then the function started. And at first it was like the groom was taken inside and everyone was like singing songs, and then when he finally was inside, the bride was getting inside and she was like in this like thing, like I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be in the video anyway, so
Yeah, she was like in this thing, and the thing was like covered with flowers, and she was like doing like a kind of tour through the room or something. It was like super beautiful. She also looked beautiful in the red dress. It's very different from Netherlands. And what happened after that? After that, the pictures happened, I think.
We stood in the queue, took pictures.
Yes, so in Indian weddings, supposedly it's normal for everyone to take a picture with the groom and the bride. I wouldn't want to think of it because you have to be like smiling on every picture for like a few hours. It's gonna be very tiring, I think.
Since it's like almost like 1,000 people and you have to, take it with everyone, and everyone wants to do a different pose, so it kind of takes, a few hours to do that.
Yeah. So we hopped in line very quickly, and it took a while, but then it was our turn, so that's nice. It was the big fire, and
it wasn't that big, but I can. But yeah.
Well, it's big for being inside. And it was like the fire, and it was like super weird because it started fire inside, but it was like all pretty and beautiful. So
it's kind of different, right? The wedding and the fire. So I know we're not gonna get it on camera because it was super late, because the wedding usually happens late at night, and if the wedding ends at like 3 a.m. and that's where you go around the fire. It's like 7 rounds around the fire. It's like 7 vows of marriage, but usually only the immediate family stays up that late because no one wants to be there like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. and random times. So unfortunately we couldn't get that on like camera. We couldn't stay that long because tomorrow's a train as well. But okay. So you did enjoy it, right?
Yes, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
It was like a unique experience for me. But I liked it.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed the Indian wedding. It was my friend's wedding, and I apologize if some of the camera angles were not the best ones, because there are so many people around and there are so many heads bobbling around and people walking. You cannot get the best angle, and I think the best angle is taken by the photographers employed by the bride and the groom, and I don't want to ruin their actual professional footage while me coming in between trying to shoot some video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you saw the festivities and the colors and the lights of the Indian wedding. And if you ever have an Indian friend, make sure you maintain that friendship with him, so when he gets married, probably you get invited to one of these Indian weddings and you can have a lot of fun. But yeah, it kind of lasts 2 or 3 days, if taking into account that the wedding goes late into the night, so it approximately is 3 days of the weddings. That get super tired, and I want to thank my friend so much for allowing me to do this video of his wedding. I know a lot of people may have privacy issues, but I did ask him, so if you guys ever get the chance of shooting a video, make sure you are asking permission before putting it on YouTube or social media. And I did that, and he's pretty okay with it, and I want to thank both the families for allowing me to do this, and they were wonderful, and they have been such wonderful hosts, and we're still in the hotel, and they made all of our stay possible. and it's just so generous of them and so nice of them. Please type in your best wishes for the bride and groom as well for their new life. I'm sure they would love it and they would really appreciate it. And yeah, if you like content like this, please do subscribe, please do like, and please share it with your friends. And I'm sure if they've never seen an Indian wedding, and they would really like it. But yeah, thank you so much for coming in. I'll see you around the next video, guys. Bye.